Now on NBC Charlotte, you are taking a look at Hurricane Harvey, which is now over parts of Texas as we speak. You can see that eye of the storm very, very tight there. That powerful storm hit the Lone Star State late last night, bringing high-speed winds and heavy, heavy rain. We are tracking what's being called the most powerful storm in over a decade to hit the United States.
Breaking right now, terror in Charlottesville. 3 people are dead after a rally turns violent in the Virginia town. The new developments happening overnight. Right now on NBC Charlotte, it may have been downgraded, but the aftermath of Tropical Storm Harvey is far from over.
It was terrible. It was I was crying. I was on my knees praying that we made it.
We have the latest on storm damage as we continue to track Harvey's path. Plus, local response teams from our area in Texas right now assisting storm victims, how you can help.
And Hurricane Harvey has officially hit the U.S., slamming parts of Texas overnight. You are taking a live look near the coast of Texas this morning. You can see that camera lens is covered in rain. Officials are expecting this morning more than 30 inches of rain in areas from Corpus Christi all the way to Houston. Now, we are already getting reports of several people hurt after a roof collapsed at a senior housing complex in Rockport, Texas overnight. Just devastating to hear that. The storm has been downgraded to a Category 2 hurricane. That's good news. Category 2, though, still very strong. Officials still warning residents to stay inside and seek shelter because we are talking 110-mile-per-hour winds. We do have live team coverage this morning tracking the storm's path and ways you can help right now because local Red Cross volunteers, they are going down to help hurricane victims.
Right, breaking this morning, 3 more men have been arrested and charged in connection to the violent clashes between white supremacists and counter-protesters in Charlottesville, Virginia. And we've just learned Governor Terry McAuliffe is in Charlottesville right now to visit 2 churches and speak to congregants. 3 people died yesterday and several others were hurt during the violence. One of the 3, a 32-year-old woman who was killed when a car plowed into a crowd. Police charged the driver, James Fields Jr., with second-degree murder. The 2 other victims, Virginia State Police troopers who were killed when their helicopter crashed as they were going to help disperse the crowds. As NBC's Chris Pallone reports, there's now a federal civil rights investigation into that deadly car crash, and we do want to warn you, some of these images may be disturbing. And many of our local lawmakers are speaking out against the violence in Charlottesville. Charlotte Mayor Jennifer Roberts tweeted, quote, "The Queen City stands with Mayor Mike Steiner and the people of Charlottesville against these unimaginable acts of hate and violence." North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis said the hate, bigotry, and violence in Charlottesville is despicable and represents the complete opposite of what America stands for. Later today in Charlotte, there'll be a vigil for the victims of the Charlottesville violence. It's tonight at 8 o'clock at Marshall Park, and you're asked to bring a flashlight.
Well, a storm this big and this powerful all over the United States and in our region, everyone is trying to now do their part. Red Cross volunteers from Western North Carolina are already loaded up and headed that way. NBC Charlotte reporter Diana Rugg is at the Charlotte Red Cross headquarters with details. So,
Hurricane Harvey has now been downgraded to a tropical storm, but forecasters say the worst is yet to come. We're taking a live look right now at Galveston, Texas this morning, which is one of the hardest hit areas near the state's coast. You can see the waves are crashing onto the roads. As of right now, there have been at least 2 storm-related deaths. A woman drowned in floodwaters in Houston last night, and another person died in Rockport, Texas, from a house fire during the storm. Also, 30 people are unaccounted for in Texas. Forecasters say the storm has now stalled, but it will lead to catastrophic flooding, potentially for days. And we want to show you just how bad it is already. This is new video just into our newsroom of people wading through floodwaters in Houston overnight. You can see it's coming down, and it's up to their waist as that rain is still pouring. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on NBC Charlotte. I'm Tanya Mendes alongside meteorologist John Wendell. These pictures are tough to look at. Breaking overnight in Salisbury, a man is dead after an argument in a parking lot. Police say 24-year-old Jeffrey Ramsey Jr. went to meet the suspect in a lot on North Main Street. That's when the 2 argued and Ramsey was shot in the chest. He was taken to a nearby hospital where he died. No arrests have been made, but police say if you have any information, call the number that's right there on your screen. Police have arrested the man they say is responsible for a deadly shooting in Northwest Charlotte. Jacoby Walker is facing a number of charges, including murder in the death of DeMonte Perkins. The shooting happened Thursday night on Windy Valley Drive. That's where officers found Perkins dead from a gunshot wound. Police say this is the Queen City's 60th homicide of the year. We're going to get to our top stories in just a minute, but you're watching people tee off right now at the final round of the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow. Beautiful sight to see. Tons of people are going to be down there today, and everybody is going to be watching the weather. Good morning. I'm Tanya Mendes alongside meteorologist John Wendell. You say bring a poncho and bring some water.
You know.
Well, today a new king in the world of golf will be crowned in the Queen City. A total of 200,000 people were at the course over the past few days watching the world's best golfers. NBC Charlotte's Ariel Placencia is live at Quail Hollow this morning. And Ariel, some of the people you talked to say this has been an experience they will never forget.
Oh, absolutely, Tanya. Thousands of people have descended on Quail Hollow throughout the week for Charlotte's first major championship. And believe it or not, it's already almost in the books. Today is the last day of the PGA. As you mentioned, you can see some of the golfers warming up in the driving range here behind me. Now, yesterday, over 50,000 people came out to round 3 to see some of their favorite golfers. That's the first round after the cut. And when you think about that, 50,000 people in one day, that's going to be almost 200,000 people coming out here to Quail Hollow when it's all said and done. So we talked to just a few of them, and we said, hey, what's the craziest thing you've seen all week? Here's what they said.
Sergio Garcia threw me his glove, and I jumped on it, and then out of nowhere, a 45-year-old man came and tackled me.
Just saw a guy open up a bottle of water and just start dumping as he walked, just straight face, pouring ice cold water all over his head.
Now, I'll be honest, I haven't seen anybody pour an entire bottle of water on their heads yet today, but Tanya, if I did see it, I would not be surprised because let me tell you, already very humid and sticky out here. It has been all morning. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we talked to fans and they gave us some tips on how they're beating the heat, and I'll share those with you in just a bit. For now, live at Quail Hollow, I'm Ariel Placencia, NBC Charlotte.
You're not going to pour ice cold water on your head as soon as you get off this show? Ariel, thank you. All right, and remember, NBC Charlotte has you covered throughout the PGA. We'll have live reports continuing today and updates online at WCNC.com. All right, parents, do you still need to get some back-to-school items for your kids? Where you can get free school supplies tomorrow. Plus, we'll tell you some ways to help get your kids back on that regular sleep schedule for the school year. CMS schools have seen their fair share of violent crimes in the past few years. We're crunching the numbers ahead of Monday's first day back for students. Plus, the top safety devices your child needs if they're going to college this fall.